Hello, everyone. Welcome to the Pond Show, the show where I play video games and I tell a story time. I don't know why it's called the Pond Show. It just is, you know? That's just how it works. This text will not get out of my screen. That is annoying. Anyway, today we are here to talk about my adventures in Italy. I'm sure that none of you know this story because that's why I'm saying it. So, when I was around 13, I believe, I took a trip to Europe. And my mom was there, and my brother was there. And one of these days, we went on a train. And that train took us to another area. We were on a train. I do not remember the names of the Italian places that we were, but we were there. So this train trip took about 2 hours. And I brought a really nice book. I do not remember what the book was called, but it was a book. And I was reading it the entire 2 hours, and I was so invested. There was like a plot, and these two people, they were going around, and they were like exploding something. It was really cool. And I was like, yes, this book is great. But I was almost done with the book. And I think this is important to the story. I'm not entirely sure. And then we got to the place, and we were there for a really long time. I don't know how long. It was like 2 hours. Yeah, it was there. We were there for like 2 hours, and then it was time to go home on the train. And so we were waiting for the train, right? And my mom saw a gift shop, and she was like, "Oh my God, a gift shop!" So she wanted to buy something from the gift shop. I do not remember what it was. You know, mothers and their aggressive tourism. And then, while she was, like, in the waiting line for the gift shop, the train started pulling in. And I was like, Mother, you can't, oh, I've died. Mother, you can't get the thing from the gift shop. The train is here. And Mom was like, no, give me, like, 5 seconds. So I gave her, like, 5 seconds. And she got the thing from the gift shop, and it was okay. And so, we were worried the train was about to leave. Well, she wasn't worried. I was worried that the train was about to leave. Yeah, she was worried the train was about to leave. No, I was worried. No. We were at, like, the middle of the train station. It, like, went along in a line, And so, I can't do that. That is. So, everyone was also in the middle of the train station, because that was where the gift shop was. You know how that works. People want to get stuff from the gift shop. And so a lot of them had gone into the middle cars. And my mom saw that and she was like, "Oh no, the middle cars are crowded. My children will not have a place to sit." And so she started walking off to the farther cars. And I was like, "No, Mother, the cars at the farther place, they are, well, I mean, the cars at the farther place, I'm sure they're fine, right? But the thing is, the train was gonna leave, or, I mean, maybe it wasn't gonna leave, maybe it wasn't, but we had just spent 5 seconds in the gift shop, and who knows when the train was gonna leave, am I right? So, please don't put me as death, please, I would die. So I was like, "No, Mother, we have to go into the car that has the car that is right in front of us." And so she started walking over to the far cars, and I just went inside the car that was closest to us. And I'm sure you can see where this is going. So, I was there. And so she noticed that I'd gone in the car, right? And she was like, "Oh no, silly 13-year-old child." And so she came back, right? And my brother was also there. He didn't do anything in this story, but he was like, "Oh no, family, they are making different decisions. What am I supposed to do?" So I was in the middle car, and my mom started walking back, and she got back, and then when she got back, the doors closed. And oh no, you could see her face crumple, because I was on this 2-hour train away from her, and I did not have a cell phone. This is me back when I was 13. Cell phones didn't exist back then. They did, guys, they did. I'm 17. That would make not sense. And so my mom was like frantically pressing on the doors. There was this lady inside the train. There was like a train door open emergency button, and she was frantically pressing on the button. Indigo was there, my brother. He didn't know what to do. He was like looking back and forth like, oh no. And I was there, and I waved like, bye. And so I was really happy because, I got to read my book, and I really loved that book. That book was like amazing. So I was like, 2-hour train trip to read my book, amazing. And since I kind of memorized the station that I would get out of, so I didn't need to to go back to my mother. I was thinking I'll just get off at the station that we got on, and I'll wait for her there. And I will read my book, and it'll be great. So, but here's the catch to that. See, the station that I remembered was the wrong station. Before this 2-hour train trip, we had gotten on a 5-minute train trip to get to that bigger train station, and the station I was remembering was the station from the 5-minute train trip. So what would have happened was I would have kept going until I saw the station that was not going to be there, and I'd have gone all the way to this mountainous area that was 5 hours away, and then children would be lost, and it would be a tragedy. You know how that is. So that's where I was. And meanwhile, there was a second problem, because I just realized I was almost done with my book. And I wouldn't have been able to read my book on the train because it was over. And I would be crushed and defeated, and it would have been horrible. But something else happened. You see, my mother, she was very worried about me because, when you are a mother and your child has gone on a train with no cell phone and also can't speak Italian in the country of Italy, you're worried. So she goes up to this train lady. Also, my brother is also there, and he's in tow, but he doesn't do anything in the story. And she goes up to this train lady, and there's this beautiful woman in a white dress, and she has makeup, and her hair is styled, and she's going up to the train lady all stressed train lady, my child. And my mom was trying to get the train lady's attention, my child. But so the train lady finished with that woman, and then she came over to my mom, and she was like, okay, rapid fire questions. What does your daughter look like? What does she have a phone? Does she speak English? What is she doing in life? What is her aspirations and career? She didn't say that part. That was a joke. Anyway, and so my mom rapid fire answered, and so the train lady was like, we will send a person over to get your daughter. And so my mom only had to hope and pray, and she was tasked to go on another train. Anyway, so meanwhile, I am sitting in the train, I am reading my book, I am enjoying the book, but the stress of the fact that I'm at the last few pages is getting to me. And then this man in a train uniform comes on the train, and he says something. It was in a pretty thick Italian accent, so I didn't recognize it at the first point, and then he said it again, and I was like, oh, that's my name. And so he said, Pond, where is Pond? Well, he didn't actually say Pond, he said my real name, but for the sake of branding, I am Pond, that is my name. So, and I was like, hello, yes, that's me, I'm Pond. And he said, come with me to this train station, your mother will be there. And I said, okay. So he took me out of the train into the train station. It was it was daytime, it was bustling and stuff. And there were lots of people. And then he handed me off to this other guy who did not have a uniform. And that guy was like, hey, child, would you come to my office that is away from the bustling train station? And I was like, excuse me? I was my mother taught me to be paranoid of everyone. So like train man who does not have uniform to dark office away from people, I am like, no, thank you. I do not trust you. And now, so I said, no, I will not go to your train office, train man. I will read my book outside and I will sit on the pavement and my shorts will get dirty. And he said, okay. And so I waited there at the train station for like 10 minutes, and train man was just kind of like standing over me. Like, I guess I have to look after this child who won't come into my office. And like, I don't think he actually had ulterior motives. Like, I learned later that apparently going into like an office is just normal behavior when you have a lost child, but like in America, it isn't. It isn't. So I was not going to be taking chances there. So later on, my mother came on the other train and she was waving at me and she took out her camera and she took a picture of me there because my mother has always been the person to take pictures of events that happen. And so then we reunited on the train and everything was okay. That was the end of the story. If you like the story, please subscribe. I have other content that's like Minecraft, but you know that kind of content. I am not being original. Why can't I sprint? So please subscribe. I will like it. Thank you. Oh, drink water. That is my brand. Drink water, please.